Background?
I spent 24 years in the National Guard, some of that full-time. I was an artilleryman. I deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. My battalion provided base security throughout the European theater from Turkey to England in the early stages of the war in Afghanistan. And that same battalion is now in Iraq.
Hope woke up like many of you did 5 weeks ago and said, Dad, you're the only person I know who's in elected office. You need to stop what's happening with this. I'll take my kick in the butt for the NRA. I spent 25 years in the Army and I hunt. And I gave the money back, and I'll tell you what I have been doing. I've been voting for common sense legislation that protects the Second Amendment, but we can do background checks. We can do CDC research. We can make sure we don't have reciprocal carry among states, and we can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war is the only place where those weapons are at.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys, it seems as if the walls are closing in on Tim Walz. And the reason why I say that is because the mainstream liberal media is in overdrive trying to play defense and to jujitsu their way through these bombshell allegations that Tim Walz was engaged in stolen valor in order to advance his political career.
Minimum, I think what the Trump campaign is hoping to do is make it harder to send him into a military community. Make it so that this story, so when he goes to North Carolina to try to woo, where I think he could be helpful, to woo military veterans, or goes to an Arizona, or goes to Georgia, 3 states in the battleground that all have higher than average military veteran populations, that at a minimum this story trails him. That at a minimum there's somebody out there asking him a question about it. But it does probably make it harder for the Harris campaign to deploy him specifically in I have a feeling, it's certainly what I think the Trump campaign hopes here. I don't think this is one of those where, I'm sorry, if you're going to use a phrase, he used weapon of war and somehow say he was here. I think stolen valor is an absurd accusation. Yeah. But if you want to say, hey, he didn't want to go and he decided, look, this trailed Al Gore. Al Gore never served in a war zone per se, but he went. And
we have footage that has come out showing Tim Walz stating that, hey, I use weapons of war in war, or I carry weapons of war in war, although he never actually was in war, okay? He never was deployed to the battlefield, to a place where there was actually combat. And also on top of that, there's a lot of speculation that he decided to quit the military after being informed that he would be deployed to Iraq. So he decided to quit before it was time to lead his troops into battle, something that they probably had been training for years. And he decides to skip out on it because he apparently didn't want to go to Iraq. Okay, he claimed that he did it to run for Congress. That could be true. I'm not the one that's in a position to really judge because I'm not a veteran. However, the reason why this is even an issue in the first place is because veterans like J.D. Vance and others have come out and exposed Tim Walz and accused him of stolen valor.
America, for some folks, they're just getting to know Coach Walz's story. He is a veteran who served our nation in uniform for more than 2 decades as a member of the Army National Guard.
For 24 years, I proudly wore the uniform of this nation. The National Guard gave me purpose. It gave me the strength of a shared commitment to something greater than ourselves.
And as the Harris campaign highlights Walz's military service, well, they left out a major detail. When his battalion deployed to Iraq in 2006, he wasn't with them. He retired. He said he wanted to run for Congress. But some of the men serving in his battalion say he abandoned them and only retired once he found out they were getting deployed. Now, when he was asked about it late today, well, Walz adopted Kamala's MO and simply refused to answer the question.
Governor, Vance accused you of stolen valor. Your response? Governor!
Joining me now is Thomas Behrens, retired Command Sergeant Major for the Minnesota National Guard. Thomas, good to have you with us tonight. Now, J.D. Vance is saying this is a case of stolen valor. He obviously served in the Marine Corps in active duty. What is your take on this? Is this just, a casual mistake? Is this something far darker?
That's way far darker than a lot of people think. I mean, it is stolen valor. he's used the rank that he never achieved in order to advance his political career. He's done it for decades now, basically. I mean, maybe not decades, but damn close to it. I mean, he still says he's a retired command sergeant major to this day, and he's not. He uses his rank of others to make it look like he's a better person than he is. He still does it, even, just however long ago.
Well, to that point, just so everyone understands what we're talking about here, on his biography, on his campaign website, and even on the Minnesota website, it lists him, Governor Walz, as a retired command sergeant major. And his governor's bio says the same thing. It even says that is the rank he retired at. I mean, that's just a fact. You did or didn't. But again, the Minnesota National Guard told the Angle he retired as a master sergeant. Now, for people who don't have any military background, they might think, oh, command, sergeant major, master sergeant. Why is that such a big deal? Tell us why that's such a big deal.
Well, it's a big deal for the simple fact that in order to, when you get conditionally promoted to command sergeant major or sergeant major, you're signing a document that states that you will complete the United States Army Sergeant Major's Academy, which is technically a two-year college course almost. And if you don't complete that, you don't get the rank. So you basically get reduced. It's conditional. You get pinned with E9, but then it gets taken away from you when you either quit or you end up having don't complete the course. So what he did basically was he quit. He didn't complete that condition, and he didn't complete the condition of doing 2 years after graduation. So he gets reduced to a master sergeant, and that's what he is right now, as a retired master sergeant.
Well, I think the issue here is that in some of the statements that were published and some of the comments that were made, when you say you were deployed in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, it indicates to people something. And the implication is you were deployed in, I guess, Iraq or Afghanistan. And that's what most people think. And maybe it's something that's just wrong, but that's what a lot of people think.
I mean, if he thinks Italy was a combat zone or a war zone and he was carrying that in war, he's delusional. I mean, that was all said just like him saying he was a command sergeant major, just another way to embellish his career beyond what it was, stolen valor for the people that actually were in war, and he's acting like he was in war. Well, yeah, he carried an M16 back when we were in, I don't know, maybe he never even had the thing out of the supply room in Italy. I would really doubt if he ever did. I don't think I ever had my weapon out in England. My soldiers did, but I was out there making sure that they had food and making sure that they had a good place to sleep and made sure their leave. I mean, that's what a first sergeant does in a deployment like that. I mean, you're in charge of leave and passes and duty roster and different things like that. I doubt if he even took his damn rifle out in Italy.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Again, this is not some right-wing conspiracy that's just made up by the Trump campaign. No. This is something that has been going on for a while, and I have a gut feeling that the skeletons in Tim Walz's closet are just being revealed. I think it's going to get a lot worse for him because now we have another bombshell video that has leaked showing that veterans have had an issue with Tim Walz in his alleged embellishments about his military career for a long time now, going back as far as 2009. Okay, allegedly, this is a video from 2009 showing veterans pulling up to Tim Walz's staff's office to confront him on claims of stolen valor. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it.
My name is Dave Thule. This is Travis Quinlan. We're both constituents and Iraq War vets. We're hoping to talk to someone about a photograph I have of Congressman Walz. Okay. Not sure if you have ever seen this picture before? Mm-mm. Okay. Well, in it depicts 2004 Afghanistan veteran.
Right.
Congressman Walz is not an Afghanistan war veteran, is he?
He served in Italy in support of Operation Enduring Freedom.
Okay, but he didn't serve in Afghanistan, did he?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Hi, Rick. I'm Dave Thule. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
There's a young lady in the other office that was helping us, but if you can, we're.
You guys want to come in and have a seat?
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, have a seat.
Hi, I'm Dave Thule. This is Travis Quinlan. We're both constituents and we're both Iraq war vets. We serve together with the Minnesota National Guard. So we're here on a veteran-related issue. I don't know if you are familiar with this picture at all. This was taken in 2004 here in Mankato, and it's actually been posted on the internet for quite some time, and nobody quite realized what it is. But in this picture, Congressman Walz here is holding a sign that says "Enduring Freedom, Veterans for Care." So tell me what your understanding of his military background is.
Yeah, I understand that he was called up in support of it. Obviously, in support of that operation. That's how I've always understood it. And so the time that he, when he got called up, I guess I've always referred to it as, he was called up and served in support of Operation Enduring Freedom.
Okay, so is there any question in your mind what Enduring Freedom is?
No.
Okay, so I guess most people, and you yourself included, would associate Enduring Freedom with Afghanistan, right?
Right, but okay. I mean, I think it, as I also understand that it encompasses a great deal in there.
Well, Operation Enduring Freedom is limited to Afghanistan and the airspace directly above. There's other units that are called up in support of, and I'm sure that's probably what his military orders said.
Right.
My concern, other than this picture, is that the congressman's website, his official biography, says simply that he was mobilized with his battalion in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, without any other details. Don't you think it's reasonable people might assume that means he served in Afghanistan?
Perhaps, I guess.
Okay. So it's been 5 years now, or I guess almost 5 years, that the congressman's official biography has said he served in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Isn't it reasonable, if it causes confusion, or it may cause confusion, that somebody may have thought to change that and explain that he served in Italy and not in Afghanistan?
Yeah, so this vet, his concern is that Tim Walz is basically not being very specific or detailed enough about his military service, while at the same time weaponizing it in a way to try to promote his political career. Okay, that is essentially what this vet is concerned about, because he's saying, listen, on his website, it claims that Tim Walz served in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. However, when you think about Operation Enduring Freedom, what does that actually really entail? Well, it entails what happened in Afghanistan, actually fighting in Afghanistan. However, he didn't fight in Afghanistan. He may have served in a support role from Italy, okay, which is what he did, but he didn't actually fight, okay? And this veteran's problem is that this guy is not being specific enough, while at the same time weaponizing his military service in a way that's not entirely accurate, right? He's not being very detailed about what he actually did, to the point where it could be interpreted as, well, this guy actually fought in a war, okay? He actually was in a battle. Now, again, I'm not a veteran, so to me personally, it's not for me to really judge, okay? And if you are a veteran, then let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think that this is stolen valor, or do you think that this is a nothing burger that is being made a bigger deal than what it is? What do you guys think? Okay, because ultimately, I'm not a veteran. It's not for me to really judge. But, it seems to me that there are veterans who have been pissed off by this, who have been upset about this for years now.
I mean, what would you suggest it be changed to, I guess?
Simply to add the words "in Italy." Served in support of Operation Enduring Freedom in Italy. Simple as that, because then it specifies that he served in Italy. Now, don't get me wrong, I certainly appreciate the Congressman's service. 24 years in the National Guard, we're both National Guardsmen ourselves. We appreciate his service, and we appreciate his being deployed. But there's a huge difference between being deployed to a base in Italy and being in the combat zone in Afghanistan. Okay. Are you aware of any of the media reports from 2006 that inaccurately cited the congressman as a war veteran?
Specifically, I can't think of any right now, but I don't. I would imagine that I know people have approached me as a staffer and thought that, and so I've corrected them. If you serve in support of an operation, you're not necessarily a veteran of that operation. Exactly. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So your question is more about this picture than his biography.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
The biography is one of them. That's bad. That's misleading. That's a little bad. This right here, under current U.S. law, this could get the congressman probably thrown in jail in violation of the 2006 Stolen Valor Act, which says it is a crime, a federal crime, to portray yourself in writing or verbally as having received an award or decoration authorized by Congress that you didn't receive. Congressman Walz is clearly claiming in this sign, in this picture with this sign, to be an enduring freedom veteran. He is clearly, nobody disputes the fact that he is not an Afghanistan or enduring freedom veteran. So this represents a fairly serious issue. So can I leave you my name and number, and can I trust that someone will get back to me on this issue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let me grab it. Dave, was it?
Yes.
How do you spell your last name?
Thule, T-H-U-L.
And you're from Motown, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want to leave any of this?
Yes, I'm going to leave this for you. This is a copy of the picture, so you guys have exactly what I'm looking at. And this is a copy of the story that I'm working off of. I'm also a blogger, and so posted this. So I will leave you with all the information there that is relevant to this, and I'll leave you with a copy of the picture. And I will hope to hear from someone in the congressman's office, if not the congressman, because this is a fairly serious matter and needs to be addressed.
Okay. And you posted this then? This is posted online?
Yes, it's posted on Monday.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your help and cooperation.
Thank you, and thank you for your service as well. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Your name again?
Travis.
Travis?
Yeah. So you seen that, you heard that bombshell. Now, the picture that this guy is talking about is this picture right here. Now, again, you guys tell me what you think, okay? The veterans tell me, okay? Because, again, I'm not the one in a position to judge here. Enduring freedom, veterans for carry. So, essentially, the argument that other veteran was making was that, hey, you can't say that you are an enduring freedom veteran if you didn't actually get deployed to Afghanistan, right? You were not fighting in Afghanistan. So to say that you are a veteran of Operation Enduring Freedom is not accurate, right? That is misleading because it implies that you actually fought, even though you didn't fight. You were in a support role in Italy. So again, I'm not entirely sure what to make of this because, again, I'm not a veteran. So for me personally, it's not for me to judge, okay? And I want to be clear about that because ultimately, this is a veterans thing. But I definitely think that veterans who feel the way they feel about this do not deserve to have their concerns swept under the rug as some type of partisan attack, because it's not a partisan attack. This is a thing that has been around for a while now. And here's the problem for Tim Walz. It's one thing for it to be a one-time thing. Like, for example, if it was a one-time slip-up, right? But that's not what's happening here. What you have happening here is a repeated pattern of behavior where it seems as if this guy is trying to embellish what he actually did in the military, okay, not provide enough details about what he did in order to create the illusion that he did more than he actually did in regards to combat, right? And again, among veteran circles, apparently that's a big deal. Okay, that's something that a lot of people don't like, and I understand that because you have people that have actually fought and died in these wars, and to pretend like you have actually battled, that you've been through that, again, I can definitely understand why people would be offended and say, no, you can't do that. You have to be very specific about what you did because we don't want people thinking that you did something that you didn't do, that you put your life on the line in the same way that others have and actually have died for this country. No, you didn't do that. And when you had a chance to do that, you decided that you rather quit and run for Congress than to do what you're trying to get credit for doing, okay? Although you didn't really do it. So again, I'm just putting information out there. Veterans, in the comments, you guys tell me what you think. Is this stolen valor or is this a nothing burger? Let me know. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.